The Global Collaboration Village Forum Ekonomi Dunia WEF ialah platform metaverse yang didorong dengan tujuan membawa pemimpin global bersama untuk menyelesaikan masalah dunia sebenar melalui potensi kolaborasi realiti maya. Platform ini direka bentuk untuk memudahkan pelibatan peserta yang mendalami melangkaui persidangan video menggunakan teknologi XR seperti avatar realistik dan audio spatial untuk memupuk pertukaran yang bermakna dan memperdalam pelibatan. Ikuti perkongsian editor Niaga AWANI Najib Arif dari Davos, Switzerland.
Okey, diskusi di World Economic Forum 2024 ini bukan hanya melihat kepada fizikal, siapa yang hadir, pemimpin mana yang hadir dan sebagainya, tapi juga ia dibawa ke peringkat yang lebih tinggi iaitu dalam metaverse yang mana ia akan menghubungkan seluruh dunia kalau boleh membincangkan isu-isu semasa, dan ini paling penting sebab semua pandangan di peringkat dunia itu akan dibawa cuma dalam bentuk metaverse tersebut, dan ini sangat menarik dan diberi nama sebagai Global Collaboration Village. Saya nak membincangkan perkara ini dalam episod pada kali ini. Saya bersama dengan Cik Huang yang merupakan President of the Global Collaboration Village at the World Economic Forum. Cik, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
First of all, let's explain about the Global Collaboration Village, GCV, and also can you elaborate the vision behind GCV?
Absolutely, and first of all, it's thank you for having me on today, and I'm regretting not bringing my jacket. So it is quite cold here in Davos, but overall, the Global Collaboration Village is an extension, a strategic extension of the World Economic Forum, as you mentioned before. So what does that mean? Well, we built it with Microsoft as well as Accenture in partnership with them. Immersive experience where it's become an immersive problem-solving tool. So we bring folks from all over the world here in Davos, as well as even at home. We have constituents coming into this Global Collaboration Village, collaborating on key issues affecting the global environment.
Yeah, but in what ways do you see the immersive technology specifically for VR and XR, redefining the way we engage with the current global issue in the interconnected world?
I mean, it's going to be very transformative. So remember, today is literally day 2 of the global collaboration being live, but we've already had heads of state join us. We've had folks from as wide as Brazil all the way to Japan, all the way to Saudi today joining us. So folks who cannot travel here to Davos, or folks who haven't been able to attend Davos for whatever reasons, we're breaking down those geographical barriers. So of course it's very important. What we're doing here at the forum in Davos is very important, but there are also folks that we should give voices to no matter where you are in the world, and I think that's how we change that collaborative conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about the GCV's unique approach to democratizing access to a global conversation, also knowledge and decision making, and how it contributes to a more inclusive and accessible global community.
Yeah, even though I do feel like over the last 50 years, the World Economic Forum has really opened up what we do here. So there's over 200 sessions being live streamed, in-person sessions being live streamed. There's thousands of delegates from all over the world here, but we really want to open up that impact. So how do we do that? Well, right now you can do it via a 2D screen like the live stream, but there's also no, replacement to doing something in person.
Yeah,
so
interaction.
What is that in between where perhaps you want to show something more immersive or something more interactive that you cannot do just via slides on a video conference, but you also can't travel all the way to Davos. And so is there an in-between? Well, virtual reality, spatial computing, all these technologies that are growing so quickly, we can begin to do that, and we have. So like I said before, from Brazil to Japan to Saudi to folks on site here, heads of state, engaged citizens, they're all doing that in the Global Collaboration Village.
And how does the GCV ensure the integration and also diverse perspectives from around the world, and also encourage virtual participation from around the globe as well? And what impact does this have in fostering a more connected global community as a whole?
I think dialogue is always good. So the World Economic Forum, the reason why we are here today is for over 50 years, we've created an open forum where dialogue can occur. We know without dialogue, problems are very difficult to solve.
Yes.
And so how do we harness technology? Of course, with video conference, first with the internet, now video conferencing. But we'd love to be at the forefront of technology, and immersive technology and spatial computing has been moving more and more forward into that forefront. I know in Malaysia, definitely Malaysia has taken a role in that as well. So when you go to the malls in Malaysia and around KL, you're definitely seeing more and more immersive experiences, whether they're some of the theme parks that have a virtual roller coaster. Those are all beginning to pop up around KL, around Malaysia, and around the world. So we want to harness that for the public-private collaboration good.
And how are the civil societies, organizations and businesses leveraging the GCV Stakeholders Campus on to showcase, their thought and leadership, and also convince stakeholders to cross-sector innovation and to address global challenges?
Yeah, so it's a historic week for us because for the first time there's public and private collaboration happening at this level using immersive technology like VR. So, what's interesting about what I just said is because it's not only public, but it's also private as well. So private enterprise can showcase what they're doing, their innovations on how they're trying to tackle key global issues by a pavilion in our stakeholder campus. So much like you see here, physically in Davos, different companies have different kind of ways to showcase what they're innovating on. We can now do that in an immersive environment using the Global Collaboration Village.
Yeah.
It's not just private, but also public as well. So Interpol also has a pavilion, as well as our Arctic Base Camp. So no matter the issue, we want folks to utilize this technology to help solve problems.
That's the thing I want to ask for the final questions, and also a lot of topics being discussed here are quite sensitive in that nature, right? In the sense that for the audience across the globe. But how does the GCV contribute to the global problem solving as a whole? Because I know, especially to the certain sensitive topics being discussed here.
It's a really good question. So I think at the end of the day, how we do it is how we've done it through the entire forum for 50 years. It's by encouraging dialogue amongst different constituents that really care and who are in a position to add to the dialogue and help solve that global challenge. So again, it doesn't just have to be because you're a business leader. That's very important though. You could be a head of state. That's also very important. But it can also in the future be just engaged citizens that feel like, hey, there's an issue there. I'd love to attend a World Economic Forum session where I can contribute to that dialogue. It's quite difficult now. You can consume some of the sessions that we're airing here, but in the future, you're going to be able to contribute to that dialogue. And once you're in the metaverse and once you're in these immersive experiences, the other participants, they don't know if you're here, or they don't know if you're all the way back in Malaysia, or if you're in Saudi Arabia, or if you're in the United States. It's everyone at the same table. So I think that'll be a very interesting moment for us.
Now, in the World Economic Forums, we have the YGL, the Young Global Leaders, and of course, this is very important to get the youngsters' opinion and also voice, and combine it together with the pressing issues and topics. And of course, when I talk about metaverse, immersive experience, and all that, the robustnesses are with the youngsters.
That's
but
right.
how do you think that the GCV basically further propel the interest of the youngsters, to listen and to join the conversation?
So there's a lot of that conversation happening here in Davos. So in the hallways, I've had so many interesting conversations with delegates. One, of course, AI is very important, and how the next generation will embrace that, not just as something that they're finding out how to use and how to deploy in their daily lives, but also growing up with it. How will that change kind of their daily interactions and their thought process on different roles throughout society? What's interesting is that I think virtual reality is going to be the same thing. So right now, when we put folks into headsets, you have to explain usually like, hey, this is how you move around, this is how you interact. If you lift your hand up here, you're going to do so in the metaverse as well. And so I think future generations, it will just be, part of how they grew up, and they'll know exactly how to use it. So I'd like to say, if you rewind back in time, I'm sure when the internet was first showcased here in Davos, I'm sure no one really knew how to navigate around a computer. And I'm sure in the years ahead, we'll look back and find it kind of like, an interesting moment that we had to show people how to use a headset or goggles, where in the future, I think it'll be the form factor and just the familiarity of it will become very native for everyone.
All right. Lastly, what do you expect for the next World Economic Forums when it comes to GCV itself?
I think you're going to see us scale up the impact that we have, the amount of attendees that can join sessions. That's what we're really aiming to do. This year, though, in the first ever year, we already have 30 plus sessions on the overall event plan here. And we have hundreds of folks, again, heads of state, business leaders, engaged citizens, all joining in. We want to take that to the next level. So that means more participants, more impact, and also even better technology. So in partnership with Microsoft and Accenture, we've gotten to this place. I think with them, we're going to go even further as hardware and software continues to proceed, like all technology does.
Alright, Chair, thank you so much joining us. Really appreciate your time. Itu adalah bagaimana kita melihat perubahan yang tambah baik lah kiranya yang ada di World Economic Forum ini sangat-sangat menarik untuk kita melihat kerana akhirnya engagement, discussion itu dibawa ke peringkat yang lebih tinggi dan juga ramai dapat sertai golongan muda dan pelbagai golongan lain. Semua pandangan ini kita rangkumkan dan juga kita melihat kepada solusi dan juga idea penyelesaian yang lebih menarik. Itu saja laporan untuk jam ini dari World Economic Forum di Davos, Switzerland.